Salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages. Welcome to another video of posing action figures with Toy the Poser. For I am your host, Toy the Poser. And a big thanks and hello to all returning guests and new subscribers, and a big welcome to all new viewers. And to you, I would like to say, this is not your average toy review channel, just a showcasing and display and demonstration of all the things that I like to collect and enjoy as a big kiddo myself. So with all that being said, back behind the camera I go into giant mode. Whoop, whoop. All right, and here in giant mode we got the Marvel Legends series X-Men 97 X-CUTIONER. All right, and although this character has a pretty brief explanation of who he is and what he is and what he do, what he do. He does have a couple of other little, I guess, tips and didn't knows, if you didn't know about him. So yeah, let's get into that real quick for you. And a quick close-up of movement of the camera for those who like to see the packaging of things. Yes, we have the other characters in this line. Of course, these were the only two that I really wanted and needed, but because I have versions of those characters that I didn't need. All right, and you know, for people that wants to see the barcode or who makes what or the legalese or whatever, there you go. Once again, I've got that. I think usually when I see it like that, if I'm not mistaken, I think I get it from Amazon, you know, and they have their own barcodes inside of, but you have a little piece of that barcode. So once again, I don't know why you guys like that, you know. Maybe you're the type of person that likes fine detail, okay? And I don't think I've noticed before, but it really doesn't matter because I usually give you guys a little brief history anyway. But you know, I noticed that this one didn't have like this package didn't have a description, a little brief description of who these characters are. So I don't know, you know, beats me. So yes, the good and X-Men 97 animation TV series that came out last year, that was a smash hit. All right, can I get some glare off? I'll get you some. There we go. Okay, and there you see X-CUTIONER in the package with his accessories. So with that being said, let's go ahead and back the camera up and excuse me. Okay, and see if we can't fix the camera properly. All right, and back this guy up and basically magical poof him up out of here to get a better look at him. So magical poof. Okay, and yeah, he basically can stand on his own straight out of the package. I guess, well, depending on, well, he was standing on his own till I screwed it up. Okay, there you go. Let's do that for a second. All right, and talk about his accessories real quick, which I have no earthly idea what they are. Because here's a giant pole with a whatever at the end of it. That hopefully, yeah. Let's. Here's a gun, and when it came out of the package, it had like this little plastic tip on it, which fits right up on the barrel and stuff like that, but it has a excuse me, a hole in the base of it, or front of it. So I don't know if that's supposed to be that. I don't know if that was just a packaging security to keep it straight. I don't know, but I'm gonna use it. Apparently, I'll try. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Another pole with a. Okay, I probably shouldn't. Damn, another pole with a cone at the end of it. Okay, and I can't remember what this thing is, but I know what it's for. As I was about to say before, I did not, or if I said it, I don't. Just a reminder, I don't know if I said it or not, but I didn't see the new X-Men 97 animation yet, and I'm not too happy about it. I don't know why I'm late to the party, but because of all the YouTube videos and I guess trailers and TikTok clips and all of that, I got a pretty good gist of what this thing is and what it's for. All right, but we're gonna find out more about it. Put all that to the side. He didn't come with any alternate hands or heads or anything like that. So yeah, you know, we got some more plastic fabric here, along with his plastic fabric jacket. So I mean, it's a that kind of joint. I don't know how cool I am about that. I mean, I don't know. He's moving kind of fine. So warm up your action figures when you take them out of the package. That's just my special warning to people. Because sometimes these joints can be pretty stiff, and if you try to force them and move them, they'll break. Whoever didn't know that. All right, so just a little hot water. Heat them in hot water, or put them in front of a little heater or hair dryer or something like that. And that they will move a lot better for you. They should. So I will say this about, the character or this action figure, about by the way it looks. Even though like the cloth and his clothing and stuff like that with the hard plastic is kind of sort of limitations, although it's a lot more pliable than normal. So this is cool. So he can spread his legs and all of that a little better than most people, or people that have like hard capes or anything like that. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, oh yeah, what I'm noticing about this character is this action figure right now is that he seems to be moving rather well straight out of the package. So that's a cool thing. This is one of his shoulder pretty much making it hard for him to rotate his arms all the way around. Although he has the ability to do so. It's just that this little thing here is making it hard. Okay. So, you know what? Of course his head should move. Okay. I was about to say, I was like, does his head move? But of course his head should move. Why wouldn't his head move? And let's put him in a cold pose real quick to see. I mean, what's a good executioner pose? All right. Well, he got this. So he's supposed to have this on. Which arm did he supposed to have it on? Was it his? I think it's his right arm. It just kind of slides in there. I mean, it doesn't have like a peg or nothing in it, so it's not like you have to take the hand off to put it on. So there you go. You just slide it on there, and Bob's your uncle, and he has his little arm blaster. However, I noticed these things. So apparently these supposed to go on his back, but just one at a time or something, because it just has room for one. That's not cool. Is it a one shot deal thing? I'll check that out later. Let me look at the. No, wait. It all fits. Oh, I'm a bonehead. Okay. All right. So you put this on him, and it normally I guess it normally goes upside down. Yeah. Which sucks because now I can't use my little tube or whatever this was supposed to be for. If it was just packaging and it ain't supposed to be there, then okay, I understand why it would fall off. But if it doesn't, or if it does supposed to be there, then they didn't make it snug enough. Okay, so yeah. Okay, we're gonna have this kind of day. Well, okay, we're gonna peg one end, peg the other end, or maybe I'm putting them upside down. Maybe that's my problem. I'm not, cause when it went in like that, it went in rather well. Okay, peg this in. Okay, yeah, it went in rather well when I did that. I got a funny feeling this doesn't go there, but anyway, yeah. And you put it on his back. There we go. And yeah, this, before it falls on the carpet and into the carpet abyss and I can't never find it forever, I'm taking it off. All right, and there. I got the feeling I did it wrong or something. Okay, let's put them in a cold pose. Straight out of the package, no heating up, which you should not do. I highly recommend you not do it. But he's moving pretty well. So let's cold pose him real quick. See how things go. I guess it really doesn't matter if you put it on his left hand or right hand, or I mean that. Yeah, it's not like it fits any tighter or anything like that on whatever hand he puts it on. So, but I will say this: look, I might not need a stand for the guy. Okay, and know that FOH on his belt does not stand for fuck out of here. You know. No, I won't do a whole lot of cursing on this channel. I'm sorry. We're gonna try to keep it as PG-13 as possible, but we know it doesn't stand for that. Or if you don't, we'll find out what it stands for. All right. So, but yeah, let's put him on the rotator. You know what? Let's take one off and put it in his hand. Okay. Put whatever that's supposed to be in his hand. Hey, I mean, he holds it pretty snugly, though. I will give him that much. He does hold it pretty snugly. Put the blaster back on. They should have put a hole in the top of that for to add an effect piece on it, but I don't even know what this thing does. It probably doesn't shoot anything. It probably just shoot some kind of wave or something like that. Let's put him on a rotating rotator. That's what I'm calling the rotating base. The rotating rotator. And see how it goes for him. So nice. All right. Even without a flight stand or whatever, he's standing pretty well on it. So time to bring in the monitor and get us some information on who this X-CUTIONER fella really is. First appearing in Uncanny X-Men 17 by creators Scott Lobdell and Jason Pearson. Carl Denty was born and raised in Kansas, and a member of a proud military family back to the days of World War I. The lineage of his family, of course. But okay. But Carl's world was forever changed when he found out of his father's death. That was technically due to just friendly fire. He sought answers only to encounter classified barriers at the age of 16. And despite the shadows of his past, Carl pursued higher education, earning a master's degree in psychology from Syracuse University. And with his academic achievements at Syracuse, I suppose, Carl went later and joined the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. For anybody that didn't know what those letters meant, I didn't for a long time, so I'm not, judging. And while he was having his tenure at the FBI, Carl formed a friendship with Frederick Fred Duncan. I said that backwards. It's Frederick Amos Fred Duncan. Okay. That's what I get. Okay. But anyway, by the way, Fred Duncan's first appearance was back in 1963 in X-Men #2. But the reason why I said that is because Fred Duncan had a close friendship with Charles Xavier, and this will explain this part. But Fred Duncan passed, which left Carl here grieving, and because of the way Fred passed, which was allegedly by mutants. Even though with Fred Duncan's alliance and friendship with Professor Charles Xavier, where he received certain type of equipment and weaponry, like this headband that helps transmit his thoughts to Professor Xavier and Professor Xavier's thought to Frederick here, Duncan. Although, that was, the case, Carl was still motivated by a desire for vengeance against his mentors, Frederick Duncan's killers, which he thought were mutants. Carl eventually ended up inheriting weapons that was given to him from his friend Frederick Duncan, who received those weapons and, I guess, equipment from Charles Xavier that was basically just android or alien tech or whatever he thought it was. But with those weapons, Carl Tom, why did I say Carl Thompson? Carl Denty became the X-CUTIONER. Okay, so yeah, and there you have it. Oh, by the way, I guess I can. This is a good part to say this about the X-CUTIONER. First, there was a second version of him, or a second person that took up the name X-CUTIONER that hunted down mutants for him. But this person is unknown. Only thing that we know about this person so far, because he's technically a new character. He is the father of Alex and his wife. I don't know who Alex is. That's just how they label the guy. But they both are in the Earth 616, the main Marvel universe. But the new X-CUTIONER, or that version of Alex's father, X-CUTIONER, did come out in 2017. So not too long ago, if you want to count that, in X-Men Gold #2. Also, but yeah, that's that guy. Also, if you are introduced to the X-CUTIONER from the X-Men 97 animated series TV show, the reason this Carl Denty doesn't look like this Carl Denty is because this animated Carl Denty comes from Earth 92131, which is basically the animated version of the Marvel Universe, which is still a parallel of Earth 616. But main Marvel X-CUTIONER was pretty much a prominent character in the Marvel Universe. He did things like, of course, fight the Punisher and other things. But just to wrap this little story up, since he's dressed in those duds right there, we'll talk about and finish out with the Earth 92131 version of Carl Denty, the X-CUTIONER. All right, which means that even though they're parallel and similar to the 616, this version of Carl Denty was a leader of the FOH, which stands for Friends of Humanity. Get your mind on right, people. Out the gutter, or would your mind still be in the gutter if you're just thinking of curse words? Anyway, yes, and as one of the leaders of Friends of Humanity, he did things like put out bounties on the heads of mutants. Okay. And shipping out and equipping, I guess, people that need it, arm-mounted, big guns that you put on your arms, built from the parts of Sentinels, Sentinels are those big, giant, mutant hunting robots, for anyone that didn't know. But along with his Sentinel blaster, that's what they call it, Carl, the X-CUTIONER, also has a neutralizer rifle, which I was not expecting to look like this, but it was pretty much the same technology as an inhibitor collar, which basically is a device that you put around mutants' neck that pretty much takes away their mutant abilities and powers or whatever. I wonder is it just powers or just for mutants? Like if you put it around Spider-Man's neck, does he lose his spider powers? Because he's not a mutant. But anyway, I would just wonder if anybody knows if that's how the inhibitor collar works or the neutralizer rifle works, let me know in the comments. But anyway, with his weapons in tow, the X-CUTIONER goes around, beat up on a couple of mutants and takes out a couple of X-Men, All for the simple fact of just to capture Magneto and bring him into justice, which apparently he did. Inhibitor collar and all. Like I said, I didn't see the animated show, but from my understanding, he got him. Okay. Anyway, the executioner is not just some, you know, guy and some middle-aged guy with some fancy tech. He's also a master martial artist, a master tactician and strategist, an expert marksman, weapons proficiency. He's an engineer, and yeah, pretty much trained by a top level FBI agent, which with his best friend at PASS. Yeah, he is he is a heavily, highly trained fighter. And with his fighting skills and his, special weapons that's basically alien tech, like his silence hit from the Shi'ar Empire, whatever, that can project concussive force blasts, and his Xenox. I'm trying my best to pronounce these weird words that you only seen but you never heard nobody say. It's an energy weapon that's basically strong enough to pierce Colossus' skin. So I mean his metal skin. So yeah, make out which one of those weapons is that. We know that's the Sentinel blaster, but maybe that's the lance that can shoot concussive blast. Maybe that's the thing that can pierce Colossus skin. So yeah, with that being said, let's size them up. Whoop. Wait, one more thing. Whoop. There is another executioner. It's Scourge from Thor. I guess from Asgard, Thor's world. All right, and he's technically, his name is Scourge, the Executioner for short, and he's technically considered the original Executioner, I guess, because he was created first. And that version of the Executioner Scourge was played by Carl Urban in Thor Ragnarok. So basically that meant that, not basically, although I would love to have a version of the Executioner in action figure form from Marvel Legends in this version, we got this. Okay. But back in like 2018 or 19 or something like that, they did make a 1/18 scale, which means 4 inches or 3.75 inches version of original Scourge, the Executioner. However, that's neither here nor there, because Toy Biz also made back in the day, a 1/18 scale, I think it was 1/18 scale, version of the Carl Denty Executioner. So yeah. Also, you see how he has an unmasked head or something like that? Oh, now we can move on. Let's try something. Whoop, whoop. I just want to see, normally I don't do this, but I just want to see if I could take this, head off and see if I can, let me start removing things. All right, the gun's out the way. And once again, this is another reason you should heat up your figures. if you're gonna do crap like this, but I just want to see what type of neck. Here, I'm oh, that was okay. Yeah, as you can see what kind of neck peg he has. It doesn't move or anything, so I was gonna see if that was it. I was gonna see if another head could fit in there. So we're gonna try the silver main head, and as you can see, it looks. The only reason I wanted to try the silver main head was because originally Carl's supposed to be like a middle-aged guy, and I don't know how old Silvermane's supposed to be, or if he looks middle-aged at this point. But yeah, no, that does not fit, which basically means that the old MCU Loki won't fit. Just looking for middle-aged faces, or the multiple man head wouldn't fit either. And the only reason I was using this head because of the open mask face that he has, because that's what Carl Dente looks like without the helmet part of his mask on. So if you remove that X, that little headpiece looks kind of like that. So that's why I was going to try the multiple man head, but none of that worked. So back to the original. Okay, so let's put this guy back there and size him up. Whoop. Okay, so our first size comparison, this is coming in for our 1/18 scale, and representing our 1/18 scale action figure, we have the Viacom Michelangelo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo line from the Viacom TV series. And Mikey is 4 inches tall as a 1/18 scale, and coming in at your average 6-inch 1/12 scale, we have Stan the Man, my main man, Stan from Marvel Legends Action Line. So Stan is an average 6-inch tall figure. And last but not least, representing our 1/10 scale action figure size, it would be a McFarlane Toys Batman action figure. I forget which version of Batman that is. I know it's the version that the female, he has the female, little girl Robin, Katie or something like that. I can't remember. The one with the slingshot. Anyway, yeah, and he's a 7-inch tall figure. So which means that our guy X-CUTIONER is clocking in at a whopping, okay, right under 6 1/4. So just yeah, 6 1/4. Okay, I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but especially that far back, but trust me, he's 6 1/4. 1/12 scale. Okay, so everybody, you can leave now. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. Hey. Whoop. Hey, Carl, you didn't have to go yet, man. Whoop. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, bye. Yeah, bye. We're done now. Whoop. That was awkward. But hope you enjoyed it. And see you in the next video, everyone. Ta-ta for now.